So Elf starts out as this movie about an elf who's not an elf, but a boy.
He was adopted.
Yeah, an orphan rather that snuck into Santa's magical sack.
Phrasing.
And made it all the way to the North Pole, and then he crawls out in front of all the elves, and they go, "Whoa, a human's in here. We got to keep him. What do we name him?" And he was wearing little Buddy diapers, so his name's Buddy. And the oldest elf there adopted him and raised him. And so Buddy thinks he's an elf, but he's actually a human, and they don't try to tell him otherwise, even though it's painfully obvious with a little bit of critical thinking. But I guess they don't. I guess they don't teach that in elf school.
Well,
they indoctrinate them to continue to make toys for free, rather than teaching them that they're individuals with thoughts and feelings.
And it appears that Buddy doesn't have that naturally.
Yeah,
to figure it
well,
out.
because he's been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
yeah. He's also really bad at making the
I
toys.
would say indoctrinated. You could also say embraced by the culture.
Groomed is also a term that could be used for that. So they point out that he's bad at making toys, and then Buddy overhears a couple of elves talking about how, well, yeah, of course he's bad at it. He's not even an elf. He's a human. And then his entire world gets turned upside down. He starts having an identity crisis. Yeah. He goes back home and hides in the very tiny bathroom to where Papa Elf shows up and goes, "Hey, buddy, what's wrong?" And he goes, "Who's my real dad? Tell me now. Tell me who my real dad is."
Yeah, he puts it to the side of his face.
Yeah.
Leaves an imprint.
Say what again? So he tells him that his dad is Calvin Hobbes.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's a reference to Calvin and Hobbes. Because he works at a kid's story printing company. Yeah. And Buddy's like, he lives in New York. I'll just go visit him. He must be a great guy. And then they give him the bad news that his dad's actually permanently on the naughty list. It doesn't say it permanently, but it's basically permanently on the naughty list.
Yeah.
Which wrecks Buddy, because that's his whole life, you know? That's like, how could he
come from someone who's so naughty?
But he still decides that he's going to make the trek to go see his dad, and that's the plan. So he does, and we meet all of the magical Christmas creatures that wish Buddy good luck on the way out, which includes
Mr. Narwhal, my favorite.
Yeah, and the snowman
and the penguins.
I don't remember his name, but the penguins. Yeah, and they all wish him good luck on his journey to find his dad in New York.
Yeah.
So Buddy gets there. There's some ground rules that were set. He
floats there on a.
He walked through the candy cane forest and then through a sea of swirly twirly gumdrops, and then he went through the Lincoln Tunnel, and that's how he made it to New York.
It's actually the quickest, most efficient way.
Isn't it crazy how this movie I remember more than literally any other one we've reviewed?
Probably because you see it once a year.
Yeah,
if not twice
for like 20 years. Yeah,
exactly. Now that's indoctrination right there.
That's true shit. So he gets there and he tries to hug a raccoon that attacks his face.
Those New York raccoons, they don't mess around.
Santa actually gave him a couple of rules about New York. Like if you see free candy on the streets, don't eat it.
Yeah.
If somebody invites you to a peep show, that's not an invitation to see your Christmas presents early. And every pizza place will say that they're the original pizza place, but it's actually Ray's on 7th.
Debatable.
So he shows up and immediately starts eating the gum from underneath the handrails. He takes all of the flyers.
Free gum.
Every single time. Every flyer. He actually goes back and gets multiples.
Yeah.
And then he eventually makes his way to the Empire State Building where his dad works. Sneaks in. Actually, the front desk goes, what are you here for? And he goes, I'm here for Walter. Walter Hobbs, not Calvin Hobbs. Walter Hobbs. And
I knew you'd get it eventually. I was waiting.
yeah, sure you were. Yeah, you know more than I do. And he says, "I'm here for Walter Hobbs. He's my dad." And they go, "Oh, okay. So you're like one of those weird like Christmas grams. You come in, you show up, and you do a little thing.
Imagine
That's
getting a
embarrassing.
Christmas gram and it's Will Ferrell.
I would.
Could you imagine?
Steven,
Could you imagine?
I think I'd be so taken aback that I wouldn't know what was happening.
I'm a real big Will Ferrell fan, so I'd be absolutely stoked.
Hey, so
But you would also be.
if Will Ferrell came to you as a Christmas gram and he leaned in for a kiss, would you go for it?
Would you kiss
Why are
Will
we-
Ferrell?
So is this going to be a running joke?
Alternative-
trying to get me to kiss.
Alternative question:
Random. Okay. Let me ask you this then.
would you kiss Sonic the Hedgehog
Which
if you
celebrity-
leaned in for a kiss?
Which male celebrity could lean in for a kiss and you would go for it?
And why is it Shadow the Hedgehog?
Slash Keanu Reeves.
As dressed up as Shadow the Hedgehog.
I don't know. I'll definitely have to ponder that one. Ponder.
Get back to us. Put it in the comments on the video.
Yeah, please suggest or what is it? Comments or just give me some names to ruminate
Some
upon.
suggestions. Well,
Yeah.
Who I wanna kiss.
While you're in those
Yeah.
comments, why don't you hit that subscribe button? Ooh, see how seamless that was? I'm so good at this. Anyways,
Dude, this
Back
guy,
to the
this guy
movie.
definitely YouTubes.
yeah, this guy YouTubes. Hey, you YouTuber?
Hey, you like make movies or something? Like you're pretty good at that. Like what is that behind you? Like,
this right here?
yeah, I
What
can't.
is that?
That's getting replaced with the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 poster. Let's be real.
So in short, Will Ferrell might be able to. He's pretty funny.
Okay. So it's the humor that gets you. Okay.
You like
No,
funny
that's-
guys.
That's fair.
You like wise guys, huh?
Kevin Hart.
Before
Not
before
funny
the Diddy stuff came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely
I don't think either.
I think
Neither variation of Kevin Hart could probably get it.
I think
For me, at least.
Dave Chappelle is. I think
Dave
still-
Chappelle's an immediate yes. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha. There we go.
We found it.
All right, we found it. We got it.
Got him.
Remember when we got oh man, of course I'm gonna blank on his name.
Anyways, so back
Okay, cool.
to Elf. So he goes in and he sees
He's
his dad,
yeah.
and the entire office is like, he got a Christmas gram. We gotta watch this. And
It's Will
Walter
Ferrell.
and
It's
Walter
Will
goes,
Ferrell
well,
dressed
go
up as
ahead,
a-
get on with it. Are you gonna sing or something? And he does and I'm here, and I'm singing a song, and my dad, I love you, I love you, love you. And then everybody's like, that was kind of weird,
That was bad.
and leaves. And
1 out of 5 stars.
and Walter's like, all right, that was uncomfortable. Thanks. And he goes, no, really, you're my dad. You're my dad. Look at this picture of you with my mom.
And he recognizes.
And he's weirded out, and he's like, who
Because he's
hired you to do
How
this?
did
What's
you get that
happening?
photo because it was legit.
Yeah. And he said, because you're my dad. And then he gets kicked out of the Empire State Building. And so he goes around town, taking in all the Christmas New York magic.
Yeah.
Finds himself in a department store where a bunch of weird hijinks happens.
He sees Santa.
No, not yet.
Oh.
You're skipping ahead, brother.
Hey man, it's
This happens. He's in the
Sometimes-
department store. He tries the perfume, and his mouth hates it. Loves all the decorations. Finds himself at the toy store, where
that's the immediate place you go to.
yeah,
If you're in a barber shop. I mean, he was a grown man. That's the toy store is definitely where I'm likely to end up.
and then he sees Zoe Deschanel in 2003, which was the choice.
Imagine going to
That is Zoe Deschanel, yeah.
Imagine going to a department store and seeing Zoe Deschanel, and she leans in for a kiss.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's
Yes.
the bit. That's the bit, I guess, just for you, Steven.
That's the new bit.
Why? I need to know why.
The new reoccurring bit.
Because it happened while you were here.
He
So-
wants to see you
I
kiss.
was just gonna say, do I look like a kissable guy?
Sybil's not here to talk about people kissing, so he's
You can
so
find
someone's
out
got to
after
take
this
over.
after this review.
Ooh, baby.
Well, you can find out if you're a kissable
I'm
guy.
stoked.
Oh. So
Zoe Deschanel.
yeah,
she's a pretty lady.
yeah. She is.
She's unique.
All right, Steven. We know your type. Okay, it's Dave Chappelle. And you're not wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And the manager at the toy store, he goes, "Get over here! What are you doing? You're supposed to be working right now." And so Buddy gets a job, I guess, which is pretty cool. A lot easier in the early 2000s, I guess.
I don't know if there's any evidence that he actually gets paid though. So he's basically working for free.
Yeah, and he does work. Let's be real. He does put in the work.
Dude, he freaking at one point he
sleeps there.
Yeah, but he also decorates the whole freaking place.
Well, that's because the manager, right after he gets Buddy to get back to work, goes, "All right, everybody, 10 a.m. Santa's coming." And so Buddy goes, "What? This place isn't decorated." He spends the whole night decorating the place, and at the same time, also in the morning, goes back to the department store and sees that there's a sign that says "The perfect gift for someone you love," and it's Christmas lingerie. And so obviously, he buys the gift for someone he loves, his dad, and delivers it to the Empire State Building.
Imagine you're a dad. And your son comes up to you and gives you some lingerie.
I would be so lucky.
Okay.
So we get back to the toy store where Santa's there, and Buddy shows up, and he goes, "You're not Santa. You sit on a throne of lies," and all those other funny things that Will Ferrell says.
Yeah.
And then there's a fight, and he gets kicked out of the toy store, and so now he's not allowed at the Empire State Building, and he's not allowed at the toy store.
He's not allowed at the place where his dad works.
Yeah, he's just banned.
Blacklisted everywhere.
He's banned. BANED, banned. Tell me what that reference was in the comments. I'm obviously more online than anybody else in here. Great. So he's sleeping in the display of the department store.
You're so connected but unconnected.
I gotta log off at some point, I need to log off. And while he's sleeping, Walter walks by and goes, "Is that the?" And he goes, "Dad, it's me." And then at some point they get reconnected, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna figure out if you're my kid or not." Takes him to Jon Favreau, aka the Doctor, aka Jon Favreau, aka Chef.
Yeah. AKA my name is Chef.
My name's Chef, and he says, "Yeah, that's your son. This 30-year-old man
Confirmed.
is your son."
Confirmed. You are the father.
And
Do you know that
he
reference?
goes, "Yes, that's from Rick and Morty."
Oh,
Rick
I
and
thought it was a
Morty
Maury.
Povich.
And then you do a backflip.
It is Maury.
You do a backflip. And he goes, "What am I supposed to do with this 30-year-old child?" And he goes, "I don't know. Take him home." And so he does.
So
And his
there's
wife
some-
goes, "Wow, this is so great. You have another son."
It goes from a logical progression of circumstances
Mm-hmm.
where some crazy person shows up, says they're a kid, puts on a horrible display,
Yeah.
up to, okay, I guess I'll take this 30-year-old person home to my house.
Yeah. Well, they
Makes
also
sense.
talk about his affinity for being an elf, and Jon Favreau goes, "Look, it's probably like a regression to a childlike state. Bring him home, let him meet the family. He'll probably cut it out in a couple of weeks."
Did Buddy fall in love with Zooey Deschanel yet?
Yeah, at first sight, like you would if you saw her in the early 2000s.
Or in real life right now?
Yeah, I guess for you. If you're into that, I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
The Manic Pixie Dream Girl thing's kind of overplayed at this point, so.
I still dig it.
All right, well, we know his type.
I don't have a type.
That's what people who are lonely say.
Based.
Wow, damn.
I'm only saying this, Travis, because Steven said the same thing the other day.
About me, dude? He didn't even know me yet. Bro, how? How did you know?
About himself. Because Sybil said, "What is your type, Steven?" He said, "I don't have a type."
I mean, look, everybody has a type.
You two Giga Chads over here. You just love women, but not Zooey Deschanel for you.
Everybody has a type, but there are certain... Anyways,
So he takes him home. They make spaghetti, and he puts
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of syrup all over it.
Skittles and
And his wife's like, "Wow, you have a son. That's really cool. Another son. That's really cool." And Walter is kind of an asshole about it all. Buddy then goes on some adventures around New York somehow. Not before he goes to the office with his dad to learn about
bring your kid to
San
work there.
Francisco, where he's not allowed to be at work anymore because he's a distraction. And then he goes on a bunch of adventures in New York, waits outside of the school for his brother Michael to go, who is embarrassed by his
His
elf
new best
brother
friend. Yeah.
before they get assaulted by snowballs in Central Park. And then Buddy deletes children from existence.
With his crazy comic, like,
Yes,
animated
circular motion.
yeah,
for the-
yeah. With
yeah,
his crazy
it's crazy.
comic physics.
Mm-hmm. And then Michael's like, "Wow, you're really cool now," which is true. I did say that.
Kids are so easily impressed.
He's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog in some ways, you know.
I don't think you even need to be a kid to be impressed by what Buddy did at that moment,
True,
because he's just launching that shit.
and perfect aim.
Yeah.
True.
He's a machine.
Yeah. He's a snowball throwing machine. Definitely not a toy making machine. He sucks
No.
at that.
So Buddy eventually makes it back to the toy store.
So
sneakily.
him and stepbrother are best friends now.
Yeah, they're best friends. He makes it back to the toy store where Zoe Deschanel goes, "Hey, aren't you like not allowed to be here?" This was after apparently he talked with Michael about girls,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Yeah, I'm not, but I thought maybe you'd want to maybe get food." And she went, "Right?" She goes, "Right now?" And he said, "I mean, yeah, if you want." And she, "Oh no, I don't." And you go, "Oh, okay, I get it." She goes, "Well, I could get food tomorrow." And then they go on a date. And it's very cute because it's Christmas time in New York.
Man, it's so easy to get dates when you're Will Ferrell.
Yeah. And when you're cast to go on a date with the other person. That also helps.
Yeah.
And they are the most awkward looking couple to ever exist on film because she is like 4 foot even and he's like 18 feet tall. And
especially compared to the elves.
And he also looks like he's like in his 40s, and she looked like she was maybe like 25 in that movie. So that also doesn't help.
hey, Jamie, can you fact check that? How old was Zoe Deschanel during that movie?
Let's see. Let's find out. If I pull up a browser on this computer, it's not gonna like explode. Oh, okay. Hang on.
Yeah.
I have an assistant doing it. Hang on.
Because the internet provides us information like that, so we can actually.
So Will Ferrell was born in 1967. And
She was 21.
Zoe Deschanel is 1980.
And he was how old during?
13 years older than her.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be older than that. What? No,
Six-
there's no way.
57 in Elf.
You're
That's
saying that he's
no way.
13 years older than her?
It's 1967 for Will Ferrell, and then 1980 for her. So that's 13 years.
I can't believe Buddy the Elf is 57 years old.
No way.
And like 30 feet tall.
how Hollywood of them to
Yeah, they
match
do
a
that a lot.
21-year-old with
Yeah,
a,
they do that a lot.
with a 40-year-old.
They love
Okay,
doing
no,
that.
it says he was 36.
Hollywood loves.
Oh,
Hollywood loves.
yeah, that's
It's
still
young
kinda weird.
women and older
As someone
men.
who's 36, I can't imagine
Yeah, 21-year-olds are
having anything in
fucking
common with
weird.
a 21-year-old.
Even as like a professional, like you have to do this for the job. It just doesn't work, and it's kind of obvious if you watch the movie. You're like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then they kiss,
Yeah, you were talking about their chemistry.
and then they kiss,
Yeah, of course.
and then Buddy shows back up to his dad's work, screaming about him being in love. The B story here is that they need another book printed because the books were printed without a couple of pages, so they need an entire new
Right.
story before Christmas, and they can't figure out an idea.
And
So
there
they
was-
have to bring
there
in.
was his dad's boss, and Buddy thought he was an elf.
No, that's what we're getting at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Jump the gun again.
So they bring in the world's most renowned children's book author, Peter Dinklage. Is Peter
Yes.
Dinklage. Yeah.
You don't remember?
And
that?
he
Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage.
and Buddy runs in the middle of the pitch, and he goes,
Dinklage.
I'm in love, and I don't care who knows. And then he goes, oh, you're an elf. What are you doing out of the North Pole? And Peter Dinklage goes, haha, funny guy. I haven't heard that one a million times. Anyways, back to the fucking story. He goes, oh, you're an angry elf. And then he fights him, and the pitch goes poorly, and Buddy is told to leave and never come back ever again. And so Buddy goes
for the third time.
Yeah, and so Buddy goes to the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, and looks like he's contemplating throwing himself off of it, but he's not. That's kind of the joke.
Yeah.
And
It's a funny joke. Suicide jokes are hilarious. Love it.
especially in Christmas movies.
Exactly.
Um,
Those two aren't related things.
yeah.
At
Well,
all.
I mean, hey, 2 years after 9/11, shot in New York, suicide, sewer slide, as the kids call it. And so Michael notices that his brother's gone missing, and they can't find him. And so their dad on Christmas Eve has to talk to his boss about what they're going to do about the stories. The book that Peter Dinklage had was left with the stories that he was going to pitch so they could make something real quick.
Yeah.
And then he starts the new pitch to his boss Christmas Eve. Michael walks in and he goes, "We can't find Buddy. He's gone missing." And Walter makes the decision to choose family over work.
What a beautiful story of family.
And the first book that he makes at his independent publishing company is about Buddy the Elf. And then we
turn your horrible family story into a money making machine.
Yeah, but before that happens, Santa crashes in Central Park and almost gets deleted by the Central Park Rangers,
Which is another sad reality that we live in.
Yeah, and
getting deleted by cops.
Michael and what's her name in the movie? I keep on wanting to say Carol, but I know that's not it. Jovi, that's right. It's pretty much the same name.
Yeah, you missed it by that much.
Yeah, it was just a hair. So they got to sing and bring back Christmas cheer so that Santa's sleigh can fly.
Because that's what it runs on.
Yeah, on Christmas cheer. And the best way to spread Christmas cheer is to singing loud for all to hear.
Yeah,
That's
right,
the thing.
That's the thing it says, yeah.
Yeah. Christmas ends. Everyone's happy. Jovi and Buddy get married and move to the North Pole and have a baby, which is also kind of weird thinking about too much. And Walter makes a successful book about Buddy the Elf. And Jon Favreau opens up a food truck and sells Cubanos.
With his son that he's trying
With
to connect.
his son he's
with.
trying to reconnect with.
Yeah.
And his ex-wife, Sofia Vergara.
The end.
Hey. You look good over there.
Look real good.
Have you thought about sharing your kindness with others?
Share the love.
Maybe like the video. Click on that subscribe button. And show your friends.
Yeah, just touch it ever so lightly, that like button. Move over to the subscribe button. Maybe tap your keyboard just a little bit. Leave a comment. Bye.
That's it.